Hello gorgeous Gemini, I'm just putting my microphone on and making sure it's plugged in because I had to do 4 readings for Aries because I kept forgetting to plug my microphone in. How are you? How are you? How are you? Did you have a fantastic Christmas or festive period or whatever it was that you did? Right, Gemini, let's see what we've got for you. This is going to be your reading for the 1st to the 6th of January 2017. Happy New Year to you. The energies for 2018, I don't know what your 2017 was like. 2018's energies so far in the readings that I've done has been beautiful, and the energy that I'm getting in from you is exciting and it's beautiful and it's lovely. So my fingers are tightly crossed that things are happening. New moon, 2nd of January. So if you do new moon work, get your manifestations out there, okay? Hopefully you did the one for what you want to grow at the last new moon. But we've got 2 full moons this year, in this month. We've got one on the 2nd, and I think we've got one on the 31st. 31st? 30 days, September, April, June, November, all the rest of 31. Yes, 31st, I think. So check it out. But the manifestation energies are beautiful, okay? So, and I'm really getting that for you, So hopefully that'll come out in your reading too. But I've got a big grin on my face, and my face actually hurts because I get cheeks when I grin. Okay, so here we go. 1st to the 6th of January 2018 for Gemini. What have we got? We've got the Knight of Swords. Ooh. We've got the Lovers in reverse and the Empress. Oh, 10 of Wands, Gemini. I don't like this reading so far. Right, okay. We're going to put a positive slant on it, okay? We're going to see what's happening. You've got strength. That's good. That's very good. You have to excuse the noise. Some of my rodent-y type things oh, it's the Dagoos are playing in their wheel. Page of Cups, Hierophant. Page of Wands, Hierophant. Oh, interesting. Okay. Okay. Oh. Gemini. Gemini. Okay, right. This is on the bottom of your deck. 6 of Swords. Okay, 6 of Swords. Moving away to calmer waters, taking your lessons or your baggage with you. Your choice, Gemini, okay? You see it as lessons, you see it as the things that you've learned, or you see it as baggage, okay? Entirely up to you. We walk away with these things, basically. Whatever you've been through, okay? I have this thing of, it's like, I used to go, oh my God, it's like, there's all this trauma, all these things that have happened. They're all lessons, all right? So it depends on how you choose to look at things, all right? You can choose to look at it as something really bad that's happened to you, and you can hold that pain, and you can hold that anger, and you can hold all of those things. Sorry, I probably just hit my microphone. You can hold all of those things, or you can see that the lesson, the universe has given you a lesson. You have learnt something from this, and you're taking that forward with you. And it's something that, if it's something that you made as a mistake, fine, you made a mistake, okay? That's what happens. That's what we are. We are human beings, and we make mistakes. We do great things. We do stupid things, okay? That's what we do. The great things are great. They are our blessings. The stupid things that we do put us in positions where we learn lessons, even if that lesson is not to do it again, okay? And that's what we've got. Before I move on, I'm just going to show you the cards. We have the Gilded Tarot card by Ciro Marchetti, and we also have the Fairy Tarot cards by Doreen Virtue and Radley Valentine. My kids got me those for Christmas, and this combination of cards is beautiful. Absolutely love it. So, Gemini, okay, let's see what we've got for you. Right, we may end up, oh, Tower. Okay, something's changing for you, my lovelies. Something's changing for you. The Tower in this deck is slightly different, okay? These cards, they've got a bit more of a positive slant on them. And for some things, it's like coming out of something. So, for example, with the Moon card, which may come up in your reading at some point, with the Moon card is about secrets. In this deck, it's about coming out of that secrets, okay? Coming out of that, it's about having the information now. So I had a reading yesterday which had both Moon cards, and one of them was having secrets and the other one was uncovering them. You have to excuse me, I'm not flashing you my underwear. I am actually have got a t-shirt on underneath, so it's all good. Right, there we go. Right, and then we have the 8 of Autumn on the bottom of this deck. Autumn in this deck is Pentacles, okay? You have the 8 of Pentacles. And it says, do more research before proceeding. Education in the form of seminars, going back to school, or apprenticeships. Excellent craftsmanship and long-term projects. Let's see how that comes out. That could be to do with this not taking a move forward yet, because you need to get more information. You are moving forward, you are going forward, you are taking your lessons with you. And it's quite interesting that I was talking about lessons and then this card comes up talking about needing more information and education. Some of you may be deciding to do a course in January, okay? Some of you may be deciding to learn something new. So, what else do we have for you? And then it says, follow your passion when it comes to your career. Be the best at what you do, being compensated for your creative talent. So this may follow on from it. This may be a work reading for you, okay? For some of you, when I first looked at it, I know the only Gemini that I know, it was very specific to that person. And that was a relationship reading. So maybe we'll go back through that too and see if it resonates with you. We have the Knight of Swords. That's you moving forward. You have a movement card. You have do your research before proceeding, okay? Learn your lessons. There's your lessons. And then move forward. But the Knight of Swords moves forward quite quickly. So maybe you're deciding to do this kind of career-y thing, whatever it is, this education or whatever, before you move forward. If it's a relationship, maybe you need to know more about this person. Maybe you're just getting to know someone, which is really good too. Okay, oh, I swapped those cards around. Should I have swapped those cards around? Yes, I should. Okay. This is follow your passion when it comes to your career. Be the best that you can do. Being compensated for your creative talents. Okay. The 3 of Autumn is the 3 of Pentacles. Okay, so it's that apprenticeship card. It's learning something new. You're at the beginning of this journey. Be it a relationship or a career or education, you're at the beginning of something. Okay, and it's saying follow your passion. If you want a career change in 2018, it's saying learn what you need to learn in order to have this career change. If there is something that you need to learn, you may have already done this, you may have already learnt this stuff, and now you're ready to move forward, which is beautiful. And you're moving forward at this point, you're moving forward fast. Okay. And you may have this fantastic idea, you may have this fantastic idea about what you want to do. You may be incredibly focused. But for some of you, if you look at this picture, he's kind of leaning back on his horse. So maybe some of you are holding back a little bit. And underneath that, you have the Page of Pentacles. And Pentacles are about that slower energy. Okay, but you're waiting for your ships to come in now. You are waiting for your ships to come in at this point. Right, so that's where we are. Then we have... You had 2 cards come out. For some of you, this may be a relationship, okay? For some of you, you're not making a decision about love. For some of you, you're not making a decision. Now, this is interesting because I think, if I'm not wrong, I think this is the Gemini card. So possibly you're just being indecisive. For some of you, you may be dealing with another Gemini. For some of you, this is about love. For some of you, you may just be being indecisive though about this new thing, because if we look at, where did I put him? If we look at the King of the Knight of Swords, he has this kind of like big glowy thing, and there's a big glowy thing here too, okay, and kind of by her head. So maybe you're still looking at this, but you're indecisive about it at this point in time. And possibly it's because, possibly for some of you it may be a third party, okay? Some of you it may be a third party. I'm going to put it out there, and that's why you're not making this decision about love right now. Okay, and it could be with the Gemini, and it could also be with a fire sign. This card to me is always fire sign. It could also be with Pisces, I'm being told, because, no. Why am I being told? Okay, I'm just going to go with it. It could also be with a water sign, so Pisces, Scorpio. Oh, okay, Pisces, Scorpio, Cancer, or you could have that in your chart. It could be a relationship between, it could be a choice between a Gemini, or it could be a fire sign or a water sign, or someone with those things in their charts. Okay, I won't explain to you why I got Queen of Cups, but I did. All right, and this may be it. You may be walking away. You may be walking away from a Gemini for a fire sign. Okay, you may be walking away from love for career, because the Empress, to me, she is a fire sign, but she's also the mother, but she's also like the Empress, you know, so she will have it all. She has got everything. She has got the career, she's got the kids, she's got the relationship, she's got all those kind of stuff. It's kind of like the Queen of the Nine of Pentacles energy. If you know that card, it's the independent, financially abundant, or just life abundant person. But this is kind of like a more long-term thing. So maybe you already have that, and you're quite happy where you are. If you're single, you may be kind of like older. I hate it when they say older lady. You may be an older person because you're over 40. Okay, I'm 47, nearly 48. I don't feel like an older person at all. I'm sure if you're in your 70s, you don't feel like an older person too. You may feel like this, and you may have been a mother for a long time. Okay, and maybe this is a very similar reading in some ways to Aries, actually, funnily enough. And we're talking about this fire sign, aren't we? So it may be a very similar relation. You may have Aries in your chart. Okay, it's very kind of similar to them. They're choosing between love and a family, all right, and they're turning down the love for the family. Right, and then you have this Tower. Okay, so this is a Tower, but if you look at this card, the Tower hasn't fallen and two people are still together. Right, and it says, let go of belief systems that no longer work for you, an important life-changing event, a situation that leads to significant opportunities. Now, there are two people in this card, and there are also two lambs, so this could be about a family, all right? But she's also looking away from this man. He's pointing towards the house, he's pointing towards the children, she's looking away. So maybe that's your choice, maybe that it's like the love or family, and maybe for some of you, you are kind of looking away, but she's still holding on to him. Okay, is she holding his hand? I can't quite see. I think she's, excuse me, I think she's almost holding his hand. Oh, the glass is on upside down. That'd be clever, wouldn't it? No, she's not holding his hand, but she's about to take it. His hand is kind of there, and her hands are like this. Okay, she's reaching out, but she's not touching him yet. So for some of you, this is a relationship with your partner. If your partner may want to move forward, but you're not sure, you're kind of reaching out. It's there, but you're not quite taking it yet, and you're still kind of looking away. And it goes back to this card where he's kind of looking away from these things at the moment because he's waiting for his ships to come in. But you have this stability and security. You have the home, you have the family, you have this person. So it's very, very similar reading to Aries, actually, in that sense. And maybe you're feeling overburdened, okay? Maybe you're feeling overburdened. Maybe there has been a lot going on. Maybe you are trying to be the Empress and you're trying to juggle everything. Maybe you're trying to juggle everything. And maybe you're just feeling a little bit overburdened by it. And I think this card today is asking you, these always feel like family to me in the back, because I think it's because there's a big kind of male one and then there's a little one, which could be just, I think maybe you need to be asking people for help, okay? People might not be seeing it. And maybe you're feeling overburdened because you have the moon card there, which is secrets. Yeah, so maybe you're holding a lot of this inside. Maybe people don't realize that you're overburdened, and perhaps you need to ask for help. The next card that you have is the Four of Summer, which is the Four of Cups. And in the traditional tarot deck, it's the man sitting, in this tarot deck, in the Gilded Tarot, it's the man sitting under the tree, and he's got his 3 cups beside him, and he's being offered something else, and he's either taking it or not taking it. It's either a fantastic opportunity or he's not interested. Okay, that's that card in here. And if you look again, it's that thing of like looking away. He's looking away, she's looking away, she's looking away. And actually she's looking away too, she's looking forward. And in this card, oh my goodness, in this card that child is just like, it's not looking at the person, she's distracted by something else. And that's coming through in a huge number of your cards. Huge number of your cards. And actually the love, but you're focused on this other goal perhaps. Perhaps you're not interested in love right now, or your relationship right now, because you're feeling overburdened maybe at work or by this new thing that you're interested in. She's looking up at this. She's focused on something else. She's not looking at this person. She's looking at this thing here. This person is like looking at what it is that they're trying to manifest in terms of, I think, probably career, in fairness. So there we are with those. Okay, my cards are just going mad. Right, yes, so the Four of Summer, being distracted and failing to see a magical opportunity. Yeah, that looks like a pretty magical opportunity to me. But she's got her eyes closed as well. Taking something or someone for granted, and discontentment with life. And maybe you're discontented with life because you're just feeling overburdened. And you have the strength. You have the strength to deal with this being overburdened. All right? Maybe you're coming to the end of this period and you've had the strength. Perhaps also you're dealing with, you may also be dealing with a Leo. Or you may have Leo in your chart. We have lots of 3s as well. You know, we were talking about the third party situation and choosing between the Gemini and the fire sign. Okay, or the water sign as well. And for some of you, you're going with this fire sign or water sign because the other one is in reverse. Right. And maybe you've been being overburdened by this, and maybe there's been arguments about it because you have a 5 and a 3, and then this is the 3. Okay, and then you have 3. And what else do we have? We don't have any other 3s. Oh yes, we do. We have the 3 of Wands as well. Okay, so we have a lot of 3s. So for some of you it may be third party. I know they come up a lot in readings, but as I said before, I almost took them out of my readings, but it stopped things flowing. If there are 3 people in a relationship and they all have like different sun, moon and rising signs, then basically it can influence the entire thing. All of the readings, it really can. But again, look, these people are looking away from each other. This person is looking away. It's all the looking away. You're very, very distracted, Gemini. What is distracting you? And I think it's because you want this new thing, whatever this new thing is. You're focused on, whatever you're focused on, this magical opportunity. Perhaps you're distracted by it because he has this creative opportunity, actually, because he has this, I think it's a lyre. Or maybe you're looking at a lyre. Okay, just be aware of that. But I think it's a lyre. It's the name of that instrument. And it is magical. Look, it's all sparkly and beautiful. And maybe there is a lyre in your midst, which is sparkly and beautiful, and this person is looking at it. Okay. Maybe this younger person is looking at it. So I don't think that's the Empress, because the Empress is an older lady, or older person, yeah. And then, but you have this young person here, and you have this young person here. I don't think it's you who's looking at this, because you're kind of showing up as a more mature energy. But if you look in this card, right, you have, this is a young person and they're focused on something. So maybe someone is focused on you, maybe a younger person is focused on you. And then you have this person, if that's you, you have this kind of young person here kind of reaching up and almost begging for something from you. So it could be your children, and this is why you're overburdened, okay? Because you're not getting any kind of family support and your children are making massive demands on you. So maybe for some of you it's that. And then you have this child again looking at this liar, or creative venture, which is magical and sparkly, which is your magical opportunity again. And it says, indecision is holding you back. Make the choice that's best for you rather than trying to please others. So yes, that's what you need to do. Feeling trapped between the intellectual and the emotional. So perhaps you want to go back to college, you want to go back and get some kind of education, but you're trapped. You're kind of trapped by childcare, you're trapped by your family responsibilities. Perhaps you want to do something creative and you're trapped by the necessity to earn money. So you're trapped by your job and your family responsibilities and that kind of thing. So perhaps it's that. Perhaps you are the young person and perhaps you want to go back to university, but you've kind of maybe started working and the money's coming in and it's quite useful and helpful and things like that. This liar is worrying me though, okay? Because the young person is showing up as responding to you or responding to this opportunity, and I hope you are not being some kind of glitzy magical liar out there, Gemini, because that's not very nice, okay? Be told off. And we're back to this again. Now this was really interesting when these two cards came out, because we had the Empress and the Lovers in reverse. Okay, we had the Empress in the upright and the Lovers in reverse. So maybe it's between a Gemini and or there could be a water sign in both actually, because this water seems really important to me. Okay. And you have this fire sign who is this kind of older, elegant kind of, this lady's kind of naked, okay? This lady's naked. This lady isn't. She's very well clothed, expensive clothing, all that kind of stuff, okay? And it could be a marriage partner because you have that ring. And then underneath those two, we had these two, which is the Hierophant, okay, marriage partner, or being the more mature kind, or taking a more mature attitude, and staying within social conventions and that kind of stuff, working for a big organization. Maybe you've been there a long time and you have this creative venture that you want to move forward with, but you're not sure. This is very, very similar to the Aries reading, okay? And you have this creative venture that you want to move forward with, and then you have this Page of Wands. You have this Page of Wands in reverse, and you have the Lovers in reverse. So perhaps it's the fire sign and water sign, or Gemini, okay, air sign, who is this younger person who is in reverse. So if it's a third party, I think you're staying within your marriage. If it's not a third party, then yeah, you're not getting support with your children, I'm seeing here. And it comes back to this being overburdened. It's like this person is supporting this person, okay, but it's in reverse, so you're not getting that. And wands are about action, okay, and maybe your kids are not doing anything either. But generally you're quite happy, I think. It says you have this, and you may be feeling overburdened. But maybe, I think if you need to talk, perhaps. I mean, you have the strength to do this. There's nothing about talking, apart from this Ten of Wands card where it's saying, ask for help. Ask for help. Because it says, the Four of Spring is the Four of Wands, okay? And that's the foundation card in the That's the foundation card in the Gilded Tarot, where the woman and the child and the husband or the man are standing separate to each other, but they're together within this kind of like foundation. It's not a house, it's like the 4 sticks, okay? But it says, be grateful, you have so much to celebrate, deep feelings of peace and happiness, and a contented personal life. What I'm getting from this is maybe your partner and your children are very grateful, or not, but they're happy, you know, they're happy. But maybe that's why they're not giving you the support, because maybe they don't realize you need it because you had these secrets. And maybe if you talk to them, maybe you will get more support. So it's worth a go anyway, isn't it? Again, if it's a third party, okay, and this is where it came out, you have the Fool card. You are not moving forward fast, and that ties in with the, where were we? Do more research before proceeding. Okay, so even if it's to do with career or education or something, you're not moving forward rashly. You're moving forward as the Knight of Swords perhaps, but you're not moving forward as the Fool. The Knight of Swords is logical, they're intellectual, okay, they're analytical, and there's a big difference between those two. He moves fast, he moves fast, but he's logical and analytical and sensible in a kind of weird moving fast way. This guy just hasn't got a clue. He's just going, and he's just not thinking about it. You guys are thinking about it, whatever that is. Okay, and then you have the King of Swords. You started with the Knight of Swords, you have gone up to the King of Swords, you have leveled up. Okay, you have leveled up. And perhaps because these two cards are next to each other, the way that they were sitting in the deck, it was like the King of Swords was looking at the Knight of Swords, and maybe they're thinking, you know, maybe they think it's a foolish decision, particularly if it's a third party. Maybe they're looking at it and thinking it's a foolish decision. They're looking at it in a mature way. They're looking at it as, you know, in a logical way. But they're not doing this fast action. Maybe at the beginning of the month you were doing this fast action, you were moving forward fast. Now you're kind of a little bit more sedate. I feel that to a certain extent it's like you realize that you're not kind of in that space. Then you have Unity, and it's the 5 card. Okay, now 5s are about changes, they're also about challenges and conflict. Okay, so, and you had, the next thing in your deck was the 5 of Wands, so it's kind of bickering, but quite honestly a lot of the time this is internal. It can be with other people, generally it's with other people, but for me sometimes this is internal kind of conflict as well, because ideas and messages and things like that, as well as communication. So maybe there is this element of, maybe there is this petty bickering, maybe it's internal conflict as well. Generally though, I tend to get it when there's a 1 and a 5 is internal conflict, and I haven't got that with these. Okay. So then you have Unity. This is a beautiful card, look, it's so cute. Okay, so there's this young person and this old person, and you have that in here as well. You have that here as well. And maybe it's to do with your children for some of you as well. Let's have a look at these 2 cards. Do more research before proceeding. Education in the form of seminars, going back to school or apprenticeships. Excellent craftsmanship and long-term projects. Maybe some of you got grandchildren. Yay! Maybe some of you just had grandchildren. And now you're grandparents, and that's really awesome. And you're excited about that. Maybe some of you are spending time with your grandchildren, which is really nice. It could be for some of you that this person, whoever this person is, perhaps the Empress, okay, has been feeling overburdened. Yeah. And you've kind of been distracted from it. You haven't actually seen that your child needs help. And, you know, to you they look quite strong and they're sorted. But actually, if you look at this child, they actually look a little bit kind of like, they're looking at this magical opportunity, but they're not happy. And perhaps you have this conversation with them, because if you look at this picture as well, it's like a younger person and an older person. Okay, the lady seems to be younger, the man seems to be older. And perhaps they haven't been able to take an opportunity in the past. Maybe they want to go back to work and they didn't think that they could do it. And maybe you have stepped in and said, wonderful, okay, I'll have the children. I will help you with childcare. And that would be really cool. So, oh bless, that's really nice. And then the card underneath that, which I think relates to that storyline, is reward yourself for all your hard work, being happily and successfully self-employed, cherishing your time alone. Okay, for some of you as well, you're in an organization and you've decided to actually go self-employed because it has been overburdening trying to manage everything. Okay, or maybe for some of you, your parents are stepping in, which is really nice too. If it's third party, okay, we also, on the bottom of the deck, we have the Wheel of Fortune in reverse. Okay. And you might be making a decision to block someone as well within this third party. So then you have unity, doing the right thing for the right reasons. Compare traditional versus new approaches to see what works for you. A spiritually minded community. Okay, the Hierophant is very much spiritually minded community. Okay, in a traditional sense though. And maybe you're looking for something more. Maybe you're looking for something more in your kind of spiritual growth. Okay, maybe you want to get out of that kind of thing. Maybe if you've been brought up with traditional religious values and things like that, maybe and this is what you've been taught throughout, you know, since you were a child by your grandparents and your parents and things. Maybe you're kind of looking, and this is why you're. It's quite interesting actually, because this little girl isn't looking at the grandparent, and this is on the bottom of the deck. Okay, she's not looking at her, but then you look at this one, and actually at this point you are actually looking. You are looking, you are listening when this person's talking to you. So perhaps you're talking to someone, if you are within a traditional religious background, perhaps you're talking to your priest or your rabbi or whoever it is that is your spiritual kind of leader, as it were, your spiritual mentor. Maybe you're talking to them, and maybe this is who the Empress is. Okay, it's not the Emperor, but they're a very nurturing person. The Empress is more of a nurturing person than the Emperor is. Okay, I'm going to leave it there. That's a really interesting reading. So I hope all things go well for you. Have a very happy new year, and I will be back very soon with your January readings. Take care. Lots of love. Bye-bye.